Hey guys, I'm going to try to explain this somewhat briefly. It's a subject that's probably controversial, and it's backhand English. I use backhand English on most shots, and probably a lot of subscribers are like, oh my gosh, Dave, you suck. You're never going to be in the Hall of Fame using backhand English. Stop doing it. I'm never going to be in the Hall of Fame anyway, so. And also, I'm 58 now, so I get to do the, hey, I'm too old to be learning how to be a robotic, super accurate, super straight. I'm never going to be Federer or Dennis, okay? I do use backhand English on most of my shots. I don't typically use the swerving type, the swiping type of English, where I can put left on the shot. Well, if I was Federer, just by being perfectly freaking straight and accurate and judging my throw and all that correctly, which I didn't do because I never shoot that way, I could backhand English and on. I bet I don't have any balls, not me. Or, or, I could swipe the English. I only use the English swiping stuff very, very rarely. And I really have to get some shit because I do believe that with swiping English, you can get more shit, but it's not nearly as controlled, and it's kind of a last resort for me. Anyway, so I was trying to explain this now fairly decent player of about backhand English and what is it and all that. She'd never heard of it, and she just got a new cue, and it seemed to be a lot more sporty than her other cue. Her other cue had a carbon fiber shaft. Her new cue just had the regular shaft. It was squirting, and she was having a hard time adjusting. So I was thinking, maybe one of the things you could try just for kicks would be backhand English. But she was trying it, and she just wasn't doing very well at all. And I'm watching her, and I'm like, something looks weird about what she was doing. So I got and I shot some shots, and I made the shots, but it looked if not to my mind's eye, it didn't look weird anymore. I couldn't see myself, but what we got to discussing was she was putting on backhand English in a different way than I was. I do not know how. There's a freaking bug that is annoying me. I don't know how the pool players that use backhand English, how they do it. It's possible that everyone on the planet does it the same way as me. It's also possible that I'm the only one that does it the way that I do. But there's two ways. And now I'm finally getting to the point. I want to put bottom left on this shot. Typically, I'll use a little bit of outside English on a cut shot. So left English on the shot, this is a cut and right. Typically, I would do that. And again, that's the 58 years old, too old for dogs, learning new tricks and all that shit. But you want to put left English on the shot using backhand English. And of course, one way, the normal way would be a precise robot. But I'm not a precise robot, I'm a human being. Another way would be backhand English. And I guess I'm putting backhand English and fronthand English into the same boat. Although fronthand English to me, do I want to go off on that freaking tangent? Fronthand English would be, okay, now I'm going to move my bridge hand over here to put left English on it. Or this over here. I'm going to do this because I got a low squirt shaft and my pivot point is more closer to back here than with backhand English where I'm using my bridge as a pivot. Don't use front hand English. I think it's silly to expect people to put their bridge hand down and then move it. Now, the people that do use it are probably doing it all in one motion. They're probably just coming down in the correct spot. Anyway, ever notice I never want to get to the damn point? The point is, if I want to put left English on this shot using backhand English, there's two ways I could be doing it. One way would be get lined up on the shot. I'm kind of lined up for like the beginner spot on the one in this case, but I'm going to put left English on to throw it that way. Get lined up on the spot, on the shot line. I can come back straight, draw back straight, and then on my final stroke, put that left English on, and by the time I hit the cue ball, I'm on that new shot. So come back straight, and then put left English on when I shoot. That's what the girl earlier today was doing. She was having a very hard time with it. Because I thought it at least looked weird. I'll probably look at this video and go, well, that looked weird, Dave. It felt weird to me to do it as well. But I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I've been using backhand English for so long, it kind of just becomes second nature to me, especially when I'm trying to play by feel. That's the reason I had my R12, is my inner pool player, Obi-Wan Mosconi, I've talked about before, still remembers how to shoot with this damn cue. After over 20 years, I pick up this cue and it's Obi that's doing the shooting. So, the other way to do it, and the way that I do it for backhand English, is get lined up the exact same way. But my backstroke is the one that's being crooked. This is an exaggeration. If I would put left English on the shot, my backswing, instead of being straight, it's curving back to my right a little bit. And then I'm on a different shot line, and I stroke forward straight. So, if she was doing was pulling back straight, and then kind of trying to change her contact point like in flight during her whole final forward stroke. What I'm doing is I'm changing that contact point, but I'm changing it back here and then just stroking straight. Changing it back here and then stroking straight. It was working better. It works better for me, and it was working better for her. Once she started doing it, it was working better. So if I have this shot and I'm going to put right English on this. Remember, I put outside English on most of my cut shots. It's not carved in granite. There are shots where I would put top left on this. There are shots where I would put center on this. But most of my shots are going to have a little bit of bottom and a little bit of outside. But in this case, I'm getting lined up for what is basically the beginner spot on that 13. It just happens to be there. It's not part of any system or whatever. What looks right, getting lined up, and my backswing, because I'm going to put right in the assist on, my backswing is going to come back and wrap around my body a little bit. This is an exaggeration here. Then once I get on that new line, I stroke straight. Stroke straight along that new revised line. That's the difference. I do not know how the rest of the backhand English using pool playing world, how they do it. Are they doing it on the backswing like I am? Or are they doing it on that final forward swing? It seems to me, for myself, and at least for this girl I'm showing today, that trying to do that on that final forward swing is not as precise, and they can lead you into that swiping English motion, which is even more possibly imprecise. The way that I've been doing it is all my shot line revisions are happening on this backswing. I'm nowhere near touching the cue ball yet. Everything's now, okay, I'm on the new line, and stroke straight, which is what we're all supposed to do anyway. That's the way I'm doing it. And if anybody feels like commenting and telling me, don't use backhand English, you suck, you're never going to be in the Hall of Fame, I already know that I'm not in the Hall of Fame. So stop typing.